No.
I'm not going to worry about.
Delmeyer, Kiesling,
Here.
Linkhammer,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Reich.
Here.
Even though isn't anybody on Zoom, we still record the meeting. So still use your microphones, because if you speak without your microphones, the recording, that we put online, it won't turn out.
My bad. All right. Then we'll move on to citizens input. We will address as a council. State your name and address, please.
Dale Lessline, 17291 Asbury Road. I'm going to give you a few ATV, UTV updates since last time I was here. 15 minutes ago, North Liberty passed their ordinance, town of 20,000 people, 3 times bigger than Asbury. And also we had a big surprise. Clinton, Iowa passed theirs on the first ordinance, population of 25,000 or over 4 times larger than Asbury. We're just over at 96% of the towns in the state of Iowa are open to ATVs and UTVs, and we are still at 100% of the towns that have opened up. Not one has gone back on it. I want to take a minute here to address some concerns of when 3 of the members of this panel fell for some lies about ATVs and UTVs, and I want to address them. The first one is that Asbury Road, or they would be too crowded and they couldn't be operated safely. There's just too many of them here that on the roads. The city of Dubuque actually has a fleet of John Deere Gators, and they run them all over Dubuque, and they've been spotted at the intersection of Dodge and the Julian Dubuque Bridge. They've been spotted on Kerpit Boulevard. They've been spotted all over on it, and if they can operate them in those heavy traffic areas, that's clearly more than what Asbury would have. The next thing I want to talk about is the lady came in here and she says that ATV and UTV people anyhow take their mufflers off and replace them with straight pipes. I talked with 2 mechanics at local power sport places. They've never heard of such a thing. They also told me that the ATVs and UTVs don't run properly on straight pipes on it. Then I talked with a salesman at the local power sport dealership. I said, how many times do you put straight pipes on there? And he says, none. He says it's exact opposite. People are actually asking what the most quiet it is because they're trying to use these for hunting and they want to sneak into the timber as quietly as possible. And then we also did a survey on our Facebook page asking how many people are currently operating their ATV, UTV in Dubuque County. and we were taking off the muffler and replaced it with a straight pipe. 269 people responded and a grand total of 0. So I think we can chalk that up to the lie category. Another person said that if ATVs and UTVs were allowed in Asbury, your property values would go down. I talked with an appraiser and a county assessor, and when they got done laughing, they said there would be little or no difference in the value of the property. Also, the lady stated anyhow that the UTVs would create such a traffic problem that they would be forced onto the sidewalks and hit babies and strollers. I actually tried to research this, and there's not one evidence of anywhere in the United States of a UTV hitting a baby in a stroller. The next thing, a person came in and said that the only reason the UTV people want to come to Asbury is to get drunk at the Eagles Club. I was exceptionally offended by that comment on it. The main reason for non-Asbury residents to come to your town would be to come to Casey's or visit a friend, and they would be more likely to stop at your city-owned golf course than they would be to patronize the Eagles Club, because the golf course is open longer hours and provides food, where the Eagles Club is open for shorter hours and doesn't. And like I say, to think that that's why we would come to town anyhow, is very upsetting. So one thing I do want to talk about is a person came in here and said that they had signed the petition against ATVs and UTVs. And after doing the research, they found out that they were misled, and they then stated that they supported it. I've just thrown all the lies back at you, and 3 of you people fell for those lies. And that is what is so disheartening, is that when you had the facts, anyhow, like when Bob did, anyhow, Bob said he was all in and 100% for it. He heard enough. And then to go back on his word is very downhearted on it. Anyhow, and just like the mayor said, there was not one shred of evidence that said ATVs or UTVs could not work in this town. And if it didn't work, the council could have rescinded the ordinance in 24 hours notice on it. And this is why your town continues to go backwards on it. This is why your town doesn't move forward on it. Anyhow, when you keep making bad decisions like this on it. Anyhow, and like I say, anyhow, we're just very, very disappointed on it. Very disappointed in you, Bob, anyhow. And the people asked for your resignation a couple of weeks ago, and I'm surprised you're still here. You should give them what they want. Anyhow, and Karen, anyhow, for you flipping your vote, we're very disappointed in you as well. But like I say, anyhow, that's about all I have for you, but I would like to leave Russ with this. Anyhow, the island is coming, but it's not what it seems. It's bigger than beyond your wildest dreams. And when the shit hits the fan, the people of Asbury are going to be mad. And it's because of you, Russ. It will be all your fault.
Anybody else address the council? Okay, we will move on to the consent agenda. Do we have anything for separate discussion or a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, one new business item.
Do a roll call vote on the consent.
I'm sorry, all in favor? Call roll, please.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll move on to the new business resolution 112 of 2023, a resolution approving pay app number 5 for the Hales Mill Road reconstruction project phase 2.
Yeah, just a brief update. Sounds like they're going to be doing the next phase of paving next week on most likely Tuesdays. The plan is right now, that could always change. Yeah, looking to get that paved south of Spring Green Drive next week. I know all of you might have received an email or two over the past week about some mail delivery, and that there were some issues there, mainly due to some of the driveways being blocked off to cure out. I've talked with those residents. It seems like that problem has been addressed. Those driveways are open again now, so things should be back to normal. So that has been taken care of as far as I know. Following that, the pay request this go around is for $621,726.23. A pretty sizable pay app this time because it does account for the large amount of concrete pavement that has gone in over the past month or so. And then also the core out that goes along with that. With that being said, there is just over $900,000 remaining on the balance to finish including retainage, with just north of $50,000 of retainage being held back. Unless council has any questions, MSA would recommend approval of pay app number 5.
I just want to say thank you, Nate, for taking care of that lady with her mail.
My job.
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion to approve resolution 112 of 2023.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, we have motions and seconds. Any further discussion? Call roll, please.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Klinkhammer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. We will take citizens' input for anything not previously discussed. All right, council, you have the police report, GM report, building code commission, park board. Any comments or motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the reports as presented, with the exception of the general manager's report.
Second.
Aye.
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 Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that we keep getting lectured and threatened, semi-threatened by a person that doesn't even live in Asbury. And then the person doesn't have enough guts to stick around for us to talk, to give, when we can give our comments. So it's getting a little frustrating, and I think we need to limit the comments because I'm tired of hearing the same stuff over and over. The one point that I will comment on, the lady's point wasn't that ATV, UTVs wanted straight pipes, is that they were loud. And that is a fact. I've heard that from several people in a lot of surrounding communities. So that's, calling people liars is not something we do on the council. And I don't think we should have to listen to that from people in the crowd. So that's my,
I will try to take control of that next meeting. Apologize.
Yeah, I had two things. The first thing was I noticed as I came through the park doing my usual cut around that the timber is having an event for young children, and the park is full. So kudos to everybody who had a hand in getting timber and their course there. Anyway, yeah, that was just a little bit of notice there. The other thing is, I couldn't help but notice as I've walked down Spring Green that the citizens are using like from I'm sorry, Spring Green. I got Spring Green on the brain. Hales Mill, and I couldn't help but notice that from Spring Green to the northern limits of that construction is kind of finished. Is there any way, I'm asking a question now, is there any way we can open that up for other traffic?
So it's certainly a possibility, but it's totally up to the contractor because they have control of the site within the working days. And I know the working days at least go into September here. So from what we've heard, I wouldn't count on it because they're going to want to try and get as much of the restoration and everything done as they can without traffic in that area. So I would imagine they're going to use the full extent of the working days as needed.
Nate, just one quick question. What are they going to do for temporary access to Wagner as well when they pave that section?
Yeah, they're coordinating directly with Wagner's. So they're getting a plan, making sure that Doug is on board with everything.
So I guess just to kind of the follow up on that same question is, can we ask them to do this stuff there so we can open that up and keep people out of the park? I was thinking about it, especially tonight on the way through and seeing that every parking space in the park was full.
Yeah, I will certainly ask them if there's any way that they can open that up earlier. And then I will follow up and see what with whatever answer I get. All right.
I have nothing else.
Would it possibly that striping is the question that won't be done to the end of the project?
Sorry, I didn't catch.
I was wondering if striping might be a question of why they wouldn't open it, because that wouldn't be done till the end of the project. And you wouldn't want to open a road that wasn't properly marked.
Yeah, they may open it up and then stripe it after it's been opened. That's something that's a little bit easier to do, but again, that's totally up to them.
Thanks.
I'm good, thanks.
As a resident on Hales Mill, it's moving right along. One of the things that I would say though is I would hate to see them open it up and have people going along at 35 or more miles per hour. We know how people obey the speed limit. While the workers are still out there. I mean, today they spent quite a bit of time backfilling between the curb and sidewalks, in which they were running their equipment in those lanes. So even for those of us, I mean, I have chosen to not park back in my driveway simply because I don't want to get stuck in there because they've got equipment in front of it, or to have to work around them to be able to get out. I'm as anxious as you are to be able to go through there too. So, but for now, we'll be patient. But it is moving along very quickly. I'm very pleased with it, and it was. I saw Karen and her husband the other day. They came up to take a look at it, and I think they were kind of impressed as well as how much has been done. So.
Not tonight.
Is there any motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.